Checkity check.
Oh, it's perfect.
What's up?
What up? All right, cool. 989.9, today's best variety. It is Laura in studio with a very special guest. She'll be at the Broadmoor World Arena tonight for the Warmer in the Winter Christmas Tour. Lindsey Stirling, thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me. Good morning, good morning.
Good morning, good morning. Welcome back to Colorado.
Thank you. I love playing in Colorado. Like, there are great crowds here. I feel like people just really appreciate music out here.
For sure. And you've played Red Rocks before, right?
Yes, I have.
Yes.
One of the most amazing venues. It's beautiful.
I've always wondered, because I'm not from here, so Red Rocks was always like a bucket list destination for me to go see a show. Is it the same as being an artist?
Absolutely. It's a place that I think every artist, no matter what size you are, it's a very special thing to play at Red Rocks. And like, I remember the first time I played there, I got like teary-eyed when I walked onto the stage and started the show. I was just like, this is incredible. Yeah, like a dream come true. And also it was just so beautiful.
I know.
It was amazing.
I've never been to any other venue like that ever. So very, very cool. I actually had the chance to see you in Napa at Live in the Vineyard a couple of weeks ago. We were talking about it on the way in. You had never played Live in the Vineyard, right?
No, it was my first time there. It was absolutely beautiful and like very enchanting.
I agree. And like, your performance was super stripped down and no costumes, obviously, no dancing. I'm assuming the show tonight is not going to be like that at all.
Yes, tonight is a very, very different experience. You know, because when I go on tour, I really want to put on a show full of like theatricality, full of costume changes and lots of dancing, and I have the most amazing dancers, an amazing band, and so yeah, you're gonna get lots of different sides of Christmas if you're at the show tonight.
That's awesome. Your new album Artemis is out now. Is this strictly Christmas music tonight, or are you going to be playing anything from the new album?
Ooh, I play one song from Artemis. I had to sneak one in there, you know, even though it's like a very, very heavy on the Christmas theme, the show. But yeah, I had to sneak one song from Artemis in there, so yeah, people can look forward to that.
Okay, awesome. Can we talk about the album a little bit?
Absolutely.
Artemis, where did you kind of come up with that concept? Obviously, you didn't make up the concept of Artemis, but why did you decide to name your album that?
Well, Artemis, for those who don't know, is the goddess of the moon. And I had really started to get into like the symbolism of what the moon was and what it represents. And I love that the moon goes through phases. And, you know, sometimes it's bright and it lights up the whole night sky, and other times it gets like kind of slowly covered up by shadow. And if you didn't know better, you might look at the night sky and think that the moon doesn't exist anymore because you can't see it.
Sure.
And I think that this has kind of made me view my relationship with mental health in a different way, and my relationship with depression, because life kind of takes you in and out of phases and cycles. Sure. And sometimes depression or mental health can be situational, where you feel like you situationally kind of get covered by shadow. Yeah. Sometimes you don't even know why. But just like the moon, I think we can all push through it and fight to find our full light again, and know that just because you're going through a hardship or a hard time doesn't mean that you've lost yourself and that you're not still like wonderful and powerful and smart and beautiful. It's just you've kind of been covered up for it now, and you gotta work to find your light again. But it's always there. And so I hope that people would relate to it and realize that we are all just like Artemis.
Yeah, absolutely. I just love that like positive message kind of throughout the entire album as well.
Oh, well, thank you so much.
Yeah. I also noticed, like, I'm watching the music videos for these songs from Artemis, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, this girl is superhuman. Like, the way you play violin and you're dancing and everything is choreographed. And I know you have your hands in everything in terms of, like, creative direction. So how much do you say, okay, this is what I want my music video to look like, this is what I want my album artwork to look like? Like, how involved are you in that?
You know, I'm so involved. Like, I think creativity is what I love about what I get to do. Of course, I'm a violinist and a musician at the core, but like what makes me love what I do is the creative process. Yeah. And so, you know, I always plan my music videos. I come up with the concepts, and then, you know, I co-direct them, and then I edit them. I'm the one that's sitting there for like hours on end. I usually spend at least, you know, probably like 30 hours on a video editing it. Wow. It takes, you know, a long time to find the perfect balance of storytelling and art and, you know, the pretty shots, all of it. But But yeah, so I'm really involved in that, and then I worked side by side with my, like this time we had an artist making the cover art.
Oh, awesome.
Because it's I wanted it to be kind of an anime style
Yeah.
artwork. So I worked hand in hand with this artist that I found from Finland to do all the artwork.
That's really cool. And I love, like, in the Upside video, you match the person on the album artwork. It's so cool.
Thank you.
The Upside you did with Elle King, how did that collaboration come about?
Well, I've loved Elle for years. I met her years ago, probably like 4 years ago at a festival we both played together, or it had to have been longer than that, oh my gosh. But we both were like, hey, we should collaborate someday. And I had reached out to her previously about another song, and it just wasn't right timing.
Sure.
But she was so sweet and was like, please reach out again. And so when I wrote The Upside, I again was like, Elle would be so cool for this song. And she was amazing. She put her own twist on it, and she is such a humble, kind artist. Which I just respect so much, because sometimes in this industry you just get a little bit tough, and we all get this kind of ego about the way we do things, and
Sure.
she doesn't have that in a really cool way. You know, she's still like, she knows who she is without having this like overarching ego about it.
Yeah.
So anyways, I love Elle. She added so much to the song, and she is just one of the coolest chicks I know.
The song is amazing.
Thank you.
But that's not the only collaboration you have on the record. Amy Lee is also on one of the songs, which I saw that and I was like, that's so amazing. Like, how did that happen?
Well, this has been years in coming, because I as well wrote songs years ago for her to sing, and I think she was on maternity leave the first time I reached out to her. And, since then, though, we've kind of developed a relationship, because they reached out for me to be on one of the Evanescence tracks on their last album. So I was on High Low on their last album, which was, to get that email of like, would you be interested in performing on an Evanescence song? Yes. Oh my gosh.
Right. Let me think about that.
Yeah, can I say yes fast enough? I mean, I've been an Amy Lee and an Evanescence fan since I was like, 15. I had her poster in my room, big fan, and I've always loved what she represents.
Yep.
And so then, because of the success and I guess the reaction of that song, we went on tour together last summer, which was incredible. Getting to perform alongside, Evanescence, and then it just kind of was this, that I could text her and be like, hey, Amy, you want to be on my song?
Right.
So it's cool that I can not only say she's one of my idols, she's now a collaborator, and now she's also my friend. So that's how that all kind of came about. It was a very organic process.
That's very, very cool. Now, in terms of collaborations, I'm sure you will have plenty more in the future. What is your dream collaboration?
My dream collaboration, I think, would probably shock a lot of people, but it's John Williams. I'm a huge, so for those of you who don't know who John Williams is, he's one of the most iconic score writers for film.
Yeah.
He did everything from the Harry Potter theme to Jaws to Star Wars theme to Indiana Jones, like just all those melodies that immediately tell stories.
Yeah.
He did. And I just think that he inspired me a lot as an instrumentalist to use my music to tell stories, even though I don't have lyrics. And so I think he'd be like one of my all-time, I wrote with John Williams.
Yes. That would be pretty cool. Would you ever want to score a film yourself? Is that anything you
Yes, I would love to work on a film score,
That would be cool.
It'd be so cool.
Well, tonight, tell me a little bit more about the show, the Warmer in the Winter Christmas Tour.
Yes, it's super Christmassy, which,
Awesome.
It's so fun. I don't know, we can't help but smile. We start the show just, coming out strong, doing, jive in, soldier outfits, little toy soldiers.
Oh, cool.
And, you see in the audience, you just can't help but smile with the kind of music that Christmas brings, the kind of costumes that we have. But also it's a show that kind of, I think, touches on all the sides of Christmas. At least that was my goal in creating it. I want people to laugh. I want people to smile. I also, in the middle, you see people cry and get emotional, because there's a lot of emotions that people have, whether it's nostalgic memories or the spirituality of Christmas. And so I tried to touch on all the different sides of Christmas. And I guess anytime someone comes into my Lindsey world, my biggest hope is that they'll feel uplifted.
Sure.
And that they'll leave not only being thoroughly entertained, but wow, I can do what I want to do. I feel good about myself. And so that's what I seek to do in the shows. And I've seen through the comments that people so far have really liked it, and it's resonated. And after the months of work that go into putting on a show, there's nothing better than that, to see that it hit people in a good way.
For sure. Cool. Well, we are so excited. The show sounds amazing tonight. Again, the Broadmoor World Arena, Warmer in the Winter Christmas Tour. Lindsey Stirling, thank you so much for stopping by.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Yes. Da-da-da-da.